It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Keep in mind, you can catch this show on here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ, and this show is all about talking to our business owners and entrepreneurs and people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay community. This is a show, again, with a positive message, so if you're tired of all the professional complainers and talking heads on the radio waves, just complaining every single day about this and that, take a break from that. There's plenty of that on the airwaves throughout the day. Come over here and check me out every weekday at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, That Business Show, where I talk with 1 to 2, sometimes 3 and 4 different entrepreneurs on the show about how they're making a difference in our community, how they got started, and just getting their message out. And as always, if you're a fellow business owner in the community, I'd like to extend to you an invite to reach out to me. As always, the best way to get me is just send me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com. Give me a quick pitch of what it is that you do and why you'd like to be on the show. And there is no charge for a guest appearance, so please don't let that stop you. Getting a lot of great people contacting me, and I'm very excited to be running this format. Also, learn more about the show over my website, tampabayradio.com. You also notice on that site that I sell real estate. This is a secondary business of mine. I come in each and every morning now on the weekdays and talk to a couple business owners, and then I go sell real estate the rest of the day. So if you're in the market for selling your home, please reach out to me. I am a listing agent, and on the homepage you'll see a link to sell your home. Feel free to click on that and put in your home information, and then I will send you over a free home valuation. Also on the site, you'll see all of my property listings and pre-listed properties. I am a bank-owned property specialist, ranked number 4 nationally within Coldwell Banker in 2014 for homes sold, and I was number 10 in 2013. So very experienced, a lot of home sales under my belt, very knowledgeable about the Tampa Bay market. So reach out to me. There's also a general contact button on the site, tampabayradio.com. Reach out to me if you have some interest in real estate, even if you're just looking to purchase. I will get you in touch with one of my buyer agents who can take you around the Tampa Bay region, show you some homes, and now's a good time to buy. Good inventory on the market right now, and the market's starting to shift more into the buyer's favor. I've been saying over the last year or so, it's kind of a seller's market, starting to shift into the buyer's favor a little bit. So if you're out there looking to purchase, reach out to me. Best way to get me, again, either through my contact form on my website or email jamie@tampabayradio.com. Also, please connect with me on all the social networking sites. I'm over on Facebook under That Business Show, facebook.com/That Business Show, and Twitter under the handle Jamie_Meloni. Also, all the shows are posted up on tampabayradio.com and on my YouTube channel, as well as SoundCloud, also over on iTunes. So I get a pretty good exposure on the show, so please follow the show, and if you're, again, a fellow business owner in the community, reach out to me, and definitely a good forum here to promote your business. Got two great professionals on the show here today. In just a moment, we're going to be talking with Dr. Amir Dowd, a local business owner and dentist, and then on the second part of the show, we're going to be talking with Diane Egner of 83 Degrees. So let's go ahead and bring on my first guest. Dr. Amir Dowd graduated from King's College in London, England, and then attended dental school at NYU before starting his practice in Clearwater. Dr. Dowd is a member of the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, the Academy of Laser Dentistry, and fellow of the International Congress of Oral Implantologists. Dr. Dowd, welcome to the show today.
Thanks, Jamie. Great to be here.
Thank you very much for taking some time out of your day and stopping in to see me. So first of all, let's start with your business here, Feather Sound Smiles. So give me a quick pitch of your business and what it is that you do over there.
So we're located in Feather Sound, hence the name, and which is just off of on Almerton Road in Clearwater. I actually opened in October 2014. It was my first business, and it's been going great.
Now, this is a business that you own, too. We talked about that at the start of the show. This is not, investor-run business. This is something that is your own private practice, correct?
It certainly is.
Oh, congratulations on that. It's always tough to, run your own business, especially when you're focused so much on the healthcare aspect of it, the dentistry and stuff. I mean, in business school, in dentist school, they don't teach you about business, correct?
No. When you're in dental school, and I've been to 2 dental schools, so I can tell you that I didn't receive any business training whatsoever. I think we had one course on it, and it was taught by someone who has never owned a business. So,
Oh, that's great.
I can't see how much use that was. But you're so focused on the dentistry and perfecting that, and so when you come out into the real world and you want to open a practice, there's so many things that you just don't know about, and it's been quite the education. Been in practice for 6 months now, and had about 3 months before I closed on it.
Did you come right out of dental school into running your business? Did you work for somebody else beforehand?
I did. I worked for a company prior to that.
Okay.
And you'll find that a lot of new graduates are taking that road because really, number one, they want to kind of hone their dental skills, and they really have no idea how to open a business or how to run a business. And for me, quite frankly, the dentistry is the easy part, and the hardest part is actually the managerial aspect.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
Making the right investments and making sure that you're doing right by your business. And what I found is surrounding yourself with great people. I'm here with Sharon, the Doctor Whisperer, and she's been instrumental for me.
Yeah, Sharon Fecati was on a prior show, the Doctor Whisperer, and she's in studio with us today. Not a mic beside her, so she can't say hi, but yes, definitely in studio. But go ahead and continue.
So you've got to surround yourself with the right people, and I've found that as a new business owner, there's so many challenges in terms of marketing. There's so many people out there that want to win your business, and it's kind of hard to make the right investments.
You mentioned just a moment ago that you've been to school twice. Talk to me about that. You said you have a dental degree from a school in London, and then you came over to America and you had to do it again. Tell me that story.
That's a really sore subject. But, yeah, so I went to King's College in London, and I was telling you earlier, it was a 5-year program, and the whole 5 years cost me probably about $15,000, and when I moved here, I had to go back to dental school again. It's a shortened program, but it was 3 years at NYU, and that cost me $300,000. So quite the difference.
Did you get any type of carryover from the London school into the American school? Or?
Yeah, it was kind of they gave me 1 year break. So
1 year break on that.
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
So.
What's a dental school? How long is dental school? How many years and stuff?
So if you were to go to dental school in the U.S., you have to first do an undergraduate degree. It's 4 years typically, and then dental school itself is another 4 years.
Wow.
So a lot of these people graduating, back to the point about working, you're graduating with sometimes in excess of $500,000 of debt. And so for a young graduate, it's hard to justify, going out and getting another $500,000 worth of debt to buy a practice. And
right.
So it kind of puts people off. But, for me, I think it was something that I've always dreamed about this since I was a teenager, and I finally kind of living my dream. So
now, tell me more about your practice. Are you a dentist? Do you have multiple dentists? Tell me about your staff. Let's go down to some of the specifics of your operation there.
Perfect. So I'm the only dentist in the practice, and I think that's kind of how it's going to stay. It's a small office.
So you get very close, personalized service. Then I think that's something I think you wanted to drive home. Go ahead.
Precisely, and that's really kind of my forte. Is that we want to take the time with each individual patient. I want patients to feel like they are important to me because I really do care. I want to be able to take the time and listen, and I think that's important because if you can't understand where your patient's coming from, you may not necessarily be able to treat them the way they want to be treated. And I think that's the key message. So,
what about like handling patients with the dental fear and things like that? What do you tell patients when they come in that are afraid of coming to the dentist? Because I was even telling you I don't think I've been to a dentist in like 10 years, and now you're in here, and now I'm gonna probably have to go and support your business and everything. So to help me overcome the dental fear, you've got some new technology in place, and it's not like the old school dentistry where they got the drill out and stuff anymore. Talk to me about what you got in your office.
So the first and foremost, you got to listen to people, and I think that's one of the key things is you've got to take your time. And a lot of dental fear is based on previous history of or perceived fear or something that's happened in a patient's childhood. For us, we've got some great technology. I'm very excited about having a laser, in the office, and a lot of the time we can take care of cavities without the need for local anesthetic, and without the need for the dental drill. And And it is.
Is that becoming more
fabulous.
commonplace, or I didn't even know that. I thought that's what keeps me out of the dentist's office. I don't want to hear that drill going on in my mouth. I hate that thing.
Right. It's gradually becoming more common. The cost of the technology is extremely high. I'd hate to tell you how much one of those things cost.
Right.
But for me, it was worth the investment precisely because there are patients out there that are neglecting their oral health because they're afraid to go there. And so if there's anything we can do from a technological standpoint that can ease that fear, then that's definitely something I think is worthwhile investing in.
Well, I got to take a quick break, but coming back from the break, we'll hear a little bit more from Dr. Amir Dowd of Feather Sound Smiles. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit AccessReverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit AccessReverse.com. NMLS number 4566.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I'm a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
This report is brought to you by Sam's Club. This Easter, get a boneless carving ham for $3.28 per pound or less. Green beans with oranges and herb butter for $3.98 per pound. And 35-count cluster-baked dinner rolls for $4.98. Join and save. Sam's Club. Life is better in the club.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Thanks for wrapping. Still slowing down at Countryway Boulevard for a major crash. I'm seeing delays on Veterans Expressway southbound from Sugarwood Toll Plaza all the way down to Waters Avenue. The usual slowdowns on 275 with another accident in Pinellas on Alderman Road eastbound, right between US 19 and Belcher. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Mostly sunny, high 79. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 64. Tomorrow, 10% rain chance, high 80.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com, where you can also catch past shows of this show as well. And again, this show is all about talking to our business owners and entrepreneurs making a difference in the Tampa Bay community. So please keep this show on the dial every weekday at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. Currently talking with Dr. Amir Dowd. He's a dentist with Feather Sound Smiles. And before the break, we were talking about some of the technology that you're using over at your dental practice. And you were telling me about a couple other procedures that are revolutionizing the dental industry. Tell me a little bit about guided surgery.
Perfect, Jamie. So one of the things is, as you know, and we all know about kind of dental implants being a replacement for missing teeth. And a lot of the procedure requires some planning, and we are now able to take a CT scan, which is basically a three-dimensional reconstruction of a patient's jawbone, for example, and we are able to plan that surgery out on the computer, and then fabricate something that during the surgical procedure the patient wears that, and it's already been pre-planned. We know exactly where we're going to be placing the implants, to make sure that they're in exactly the right position so that we can build whatever we need to do on them. And it makes it very, very straightforward. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Right.
And for me, it certainly takes the stress out of any procedure because we've already done it virtually. And so we know what we're doing.
Is that something that's also new in the industry? It's not something I remember from my last trip, because I had a surgery on my wisdom teeth. I'll mention that maybe here in just a moment. But, go ahead and talk to me a little bit about the how new this technology is.
No, I don't want you scaring people away, Jim. Maybe you shouldn't tell us that story. One of the things, this technology's been around in medicine for a while. It's basically a CT scan, but as the price of technology comes down, it makes it more affordable to be able to have that in your office.
Right.
Still not cheap, but at the same time, knowing that it's out there, I just can't ignore it, and so I invested in it.
Yeah.
And so for me, it has been a wonderful practice builder, because I think when patients, anytime we kind of show patients an X-ray, they don't, we can explain it, but they don't look at it, and they can't figure out, well, what are they looking at? But when I show you something three-dimensional, you get that aha moment, and it's like, okay, I understand.
And you mentioned digital impressions. Talk to me a little bit more about what this means.
Right, so for anybody who's had impressions out there, we've got to put something in your mouth. It stays in there for like 2, 3, 5 minutes. Having had many impressions, it's not exactly fun.
Right.
So we now have ability to take digital impressions, and what that means is using a special machine. You'll see I have a lot of machines, but using a special machine, we're able to take a scan of the patient's mouth without any impression material, and we can reconstruct that three-dimensionally again. We live in a three-dimensional world, and so we have to think three-dimensionally. So this is then able, without any impression, it goes straight to the lab. They can fabricate whatever they need to for us, and the accuracy is just remarkable.
Now, I'm over at your site, which is feathersoundsmiles.com, where people can get some more information on Dr. Amir Dowd. And you offer a number of services over there. So let's talk about some of these services that I see on the site. Teeth whitening, braces, Invisalign. What's popular out there today in the world of the cosmetic dentistry aspect?
So it always, for me, the most conservative dentistry is the best dentistry. And so, Invisalign has been instrumental for the whole dental industry, because we know that misalignment of teeth causes a lot of issues, whether it be bite problems, TMJ problems with periodontal disease or gum disease, because you can't clean around sort of crowded teeth. And so with Invisalign being out there, it's a wonderful tool, because more adults are able to actually get the care that they need and deserve without having to wear metal braces. Now, metal braces are great for certain situations, but for me, if someone particularly, doesn't want to have that showing, then Invisalign is a great way to get there.
Is Invisalign work for everybody? I remember seeing a dentist years ago, and they said that Invisalign wasn't going to work for me, and that I would have to go the traditional route. Talk to me a little bit about the application versus traditional metal braces.
Sure. So with Invisalign, you have to actually understand, what it is you're trying to achieve, and with any orthodontic movement. There are certain situations where Invisalign may not be the most appropriate treatment. But I will tell you that, having performed many cases, I am finding that a lot of the time where some dentists say that, Invisalign may not be appropriate, I beg to differ. And, many situations, the patients have been somewhere else and they've said, well, we can't do Invisalign. And sure enough, we've been able to do it, and it's worked successful. So,
how is Invisalign different from the metal braces in terms of how they're moving the teeth around? I mean, don't the braces, you go in there and they adjust it with some type of wrench and stuff, and you see this fine line going across. How does that work?
So that's that fine line you're talking about is kind of the wire that exerts a force on the teeth to get the movement. Invisalign is actually a very interesting technology. What they do is you take a scan or you take an impression of the teeth, and that gets sent to Invisalign. And Invisalign actually was thought of by an MIT graduate. So what they do is they know how to kind of where you want to get to. They remodel everything on a computer, and using certain algorithms and certain movements that they know they can perform, the whole treatment is actually planned out in advance, and they make a set of almost like very thin, very clear gum shields that the patient wears during the day and night. You basically wear it anytime you're not, all the time except when you're eating.
Does Invisalign and braces, are those ever covered by insurance, or is that strictly just a cash investment? Can you ever spend that in a way that it's medically necessary for the comfort of the patient?
I'm so glad you asked that question, because dental insurance is not my forte. For me, whenever I see a patient, I don't know whether they have dental insurance or not. Insurance is a method of payment, not a method of treatment. And so first you have to determine what the right thing is to do for the patient. And then we have to figure out, and that's my office manager's job, Brad. He's wonderful. He understands dental insurance far better than I do. And so he's the expert. I let him handle the insurance questions. There are some insurance companies that will cover that. But at the same time, I don't talk insurance with patients. I talk good care, complete care, dental treatment, and then we have to then figure out how we're going to help and make it affordable for the patient.
That's good that you put the care of the patient before the insurance and stuff. I mean, is that something you get much training on in school? Also, the insurance aspect of that, or is that something you kind of come out and have to learn through the School of Hard Knocks as well?
Yeah, the School of Hard Knocks is a good teacher.
Talk to me about all right, so I come into your office for a basic or an initial treatment, I should say. Take me through the initial assessment.
So obviously, when you first come in, there's some paperwork, and you can find that on the website if you want to fill that out.
Feathersoundsmiles.com. Feathersoundsmiles.com again. Good.
And you bring that with you, or if you want to, you come fill it out. And what's important is that we take a very detailed medical history. The mouth is the gateway to the rest of the body, and you have to know your patient, and you have to make sure that you're treating your patient appropriately. And you will be amazed at the number of conditions that have an effect on the mouth. Knowing what medications the patients are taking is important. So we'll go over your medical history pretty extensively. When you come in, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk. And that again, we want to find out what's
important. And you're going to give the
you.
patients you're dentist, and you're the only dentist in there, and you're saying that you spend a lot of time with the patient, so you're not trying to get to all these different guests or clients, I should say. And so that's a very good selling point to your practice.
Sure, and again, that's just how I like to work. And for me, it's taking the time to get to know people and understanding what is it that they want, what is it that they are expecting. So the fear and the cost of dental treatment is always apprehensive, but we know that putting things off, it always gets more expensive, it always gets more complex. So I always encourage people, look, just come in, no matter what the problem is, we have a solution, we have a way to be able to fix it. And so it's important to understand that and take the time with the patient. And we look at everybody as an individual, and we want to make sure that, they know that.
Yeah. Well, hey, some great information. Got to head in here to the break, but if you're just tuning in, we're just talking with Dr. Amir Dowd of Feather Sound Smiles Dentistry. Dr. Dowd, thank you very much for taking some time out of your day and coming over and see me today.
Jamie, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And learn more about Dr. Amir Dowd's practice over at feathersoundsmiles.com, and we'll get information up on him on the show recap over at tampabayradio.com. Stay tuned. We'll be talking with Diane Egner next on of 83 Degrees on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tile, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
And even sign up for alerts when new homes hit the market. Zillow. Find your way home.
Each franchise independently owned and operated.
Okay, so I really think you're going to love this house. It just came on the market and it's gorgeous inside. Here we are.
Oh my gosh, it's stunning. Look at this room. The blinds and drapes on the windows, the rug, the pillows. It's straight out of a magazine.
Isn't it incredible? Want to know the best part? They didn't even hire a decorator. Budget Blinds did it all without the designer fees.
Budget Blinds?
Yep, Budget Blinds. They can transform any room in a snap. You can get professional design advice and an in-home consultation. They even do all the measuring and installation. You don't have to lift a finger.
I'll take it.
The house?
No, the number for Budget Blinds.
Introducing the new Inspired Drapes collection, exclusively from Budget Blinds. New looks, new colors, new styles to add the perfect finishing touch to your home. Drapes, shades, blinds, rugs, pillows, and more. Be the first in your neighborhood to see our new collection. Call today at 1-800-260-8939 to set up your in-home consultation. That's 1-800-260-8939. 1-800-260-8939.
This report is brought to you by Sam's Club. This Easter, get a boneless carving ham for $3.28 per pound or less. Green beans with oranges and herb butter for $3.98 per pound. And 35-count cluster-baked dinner rolls for $4.98. Join and save. Sam's Club. Life is better in the club.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
New delays on 275 northbound from Pinellas Point Drive into 26th Avenue South. We have an accident off on the shoulder. A second crash being reported at Lois Avenue. Looks like it's partially blocking that left lane, causing backups all the way across the span of the bridge. And then on the southbound side of 275, it's bumper to bumper, Fletcher to Bird, I-4 to Howard. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
Winds, weather center forecast. Sunshine with a few scattered clouds today. Temperature getting up to around 80, a few low 80s in the warmer spots. 10% chance for an isolated shower. Lows in the low 60s. Impact Radio 1250 winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Keep in mind, you'll catch this show on here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ. So please make this a regular morning feature on your way to work, as this is a show with a positive message highlighting the businesses and owners, or business owners and entrepreneurs in and around our community making a difference. And as always, if you're interested in coming onto the show to talk about what it is that you're doing out there in the community, please send me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com. I'd love to hear what it is that you're doing. And there is no cost for coming into the show as a guest. So please don't let that stop you. Again, send me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com, with a quick pitch of what it is that you're doing. And we'll see about getting you booked up onto a show here. Got a lot of people contacting me. Got the show booked out for about 2 months or so now. So a lot of interest in this format. And getting a lot of great feedback from the community, from our business owners, and also the listeners, saying that this is a good show on the airwaves and a break from all the complaining and political nonsense that we hear every single day on the airwaves. Also, learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com, where you can catch all of my past shows and also see the lineup of guests that come in each and every week. I put up the lineup each Sunday, and usually on each show we have 2-3 guests in the studio. So please visit TampaBayRadio.com. Also, connect with me on all my social networking sites, Facebook.com/ThatBusinessShow, and Twitter under the handle Jamie_Meloni. And you can also catch past shows on Tampa Bay Radio as well as on iTunes under the podcast That Business Show. So please help support the show and also the sponsors of the show by visiting the preferred providers page over at, again, TampaBayRadio.com. I want to bring on my next guest for the show, Diane Egner, who is the publisher and managing editor of 83 Degrees and is an award-winning journalist with more than 3 decades of experience writing about the Tampa Bay region. She's a member of Leadership Florida and the Athena Society and serves on the boards of Awesome Tampa Bay and the Arts Council of Hillsborough County. She has received special recognition by the Tampa Bay Association of Black Journalists for creative work as content director at WUSF Public Broadcasting. Diane, welcome to the show today.
Good morning, and thank you, Jamie.
Thank you very much also for taking some time out of your day to come over and see me and talk a little bit about what it is that you're doing. So tell me, what is 83 Degrees all about?
83 Degrees is an online publication that tells the stories of the Tampa Bay region's talent, innovation, diversity, and environment.
Okay, so this is over at 83degreesmedia.com. That's where people can get some information on this and stuff.
That word media is important.
83degreesmedia.com. Okay, so you have an extensive background in journalism, and so what was your inspiration in getting and launching this company, 83 Degrees?
Well, after working for 3 decades in newspapers and public broadcasting, personally I had become sort of tired of the same old stories about economic loss in the community.
Yeah, same reason I'm on the radio talking positive stuff. I see that.
That was it. And at that time, a group from the local area led by Deanne Roberts of Creative Tampa Bay went to a national conference where she saw a presentation by a company called Issue Media Group out of Detroit, Michigan. They were talking about changing the narratives of cities. They were based in Detroit and were working at the time in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. If you think about sort of the narrative about Detroit, particularly at that time, it was all about collapse of the auto industry, white flight to the suburbs, murder and mayhem in downtown. So the idea was that if you're going to ever get people talking not about that negativity, but talking about the positive things that are happening, about economic gains in the community, you got to tell those stories. So Issue Media Group carved that out as a niche in Detroit to tell the stories about economic gains in Detroit. Pretty soon Pittsburgh came calling, said, hey, everybody thinks we're a steel town. Steel hasn't been made in Pittsburgh since the late 70s, early 80s. Tell those stories about reality, what's happening on the ground today in today's economy. So when Deanne and her team heard this at this national conference, they said, come on down to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a narrative issue too. People know us for tourism. They might think of us as a retirement mecca. Perhaps they know that citrus is raised in Florida, but they really don't understand the complex diversity of our region in terms of economic development, in terms of the creative industries, in terms of technology, in terms of the arts, all of the things that contribute to our economy. Right. Tell those stories.
Yeah, talk to me about the power of storytelling and its influence on the community. I know that's a focus of 83 Degrees Media, again, 83degreesmedia.com. Talk to me about the power of storytelling and how it makes a difference in our communities.
Storytelling is huge in terms of kind of what you get people thinking about, where they're coming from, their mindset. If all that you're ever hearing are stories about all of the bad things that are happening in our community, I mean, think about the narrative that's about Florida on the national media front, especially. It's things about we can't count our votes in Florida. Right. We men shoot men in movie theaters. Police officers kill suspects. I mean, that's that negative, constant dribble of stories that makes the national media, in particular, makes the Jay Leno, talk show kind of comedy shows. So if you can have that, if you can reverse that and start people talking about, wow, I didn't know that this incredible person's doing this innovative thing in our community. I didn't know about that entrepreneurial company that's emerging. I didn't know the depth of the technology industry here. I didn't realize the breadth of the cultural arts in our community. If you get people talking about that, it makes them more positive about the future. It makes them more optimistic. It makes them less afraid of their neighbors. It makes them more willing to go out and volunteer in the community to make the community better. In my opinion, it also makes them more likely to vote for things like improving the roads or, making transportation as an issue, finding solutions to things like that. It just opens your mind to looking at solutions and optimism for the future as opposed to being sort of afraid and bunkered down because you don't know what's going to happen next. You're afraid of what's going to happen next.
What are some of the things that you're highlighting in the Tampa Bay and the surrounding region on 83degreesmedia.com? What's got you excited about the Tampa Bay region right now?
What has me excited are a lot of things, but the depth of the talent that is here, the number of people that we have graduating from our colleges and universities and special training programs, the diversity of industries, the startup community in particular is just phenomenal here. Technology has really, we're in the Southeast, right up there with Atlanta in terms of the number of people and the talented people who go back and forth within industries. The diversity of our region, a lot of times diversity is an issue and the news media gets reported as sort of when the clashes occur among people who are different. Our focus is on the things that come out as assets when we have a diverse community, people, immigrants who are doing fabulous things. Dr. Droude that you were just talking about earlier is an example of the kind of person that we would feature in a story, somebody who immigrated here, pursued higher education, which is often the lure for immigrants to our community, is to get a master's degree or a PhD. Then they create their own business. And pretty soon they're a driving force in our economy.
Do you have a story that comes to mind? I won't put you on the spot here, but is there a certain story that you've recently promoted on the site that really highlights what's going on in the Tampa Bay community?
We do a lot of sort of trend stories about how office settings, for example, are changing. We did a story just recently about co-working spaces. A lot of entrepreneurs particularly are working in co-working spaces. We have a story that published this morning about cool office spaces and how offices are working to attract millennials in particular and are finding that traditional office settings really aren't fun places that millennials are attracted to. I love every story that we do, so we could talk for several hours about that.
So how is the company run? Do you have a different people on staff that goes out into the community and gets these stories, or how does 83 Degrees Media operating?
I'm the publisher and the managing editor. That means that I wear two hats, basically. As a publisher, I'm out looking for funding for our publication, getting the kind of sponsors who value the positive nature of the stories that we do, who understand that value and also appreciate the value of the fresh content that we can offer them for their websites as well. The team is a group of about 25 or so freelance journalists, feature writers primarily. All of them are excellent storytellers. They're all part-time workers, just contract workers with us who work out of their laptops. Some of them are stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home moms. Some of them are retirees. Some of them are people who have been laid off from traditional media, who are, have a huge skill set that can tell the stories of the Tampa Bay region.
Now you come, into this business with an extensive background in journalism. I see you a recipient of the Tampa Bay Association of Black Journalists. Gave you an award for creative work as content director at WUSF. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about some of the the awards and your accolades when you were a journalist in private practice.
Sure. The one that I'm most proud of actually is the Florida Society of Newspaper Editors gave me the top award in the state of Florida for editorial writing. And those were editorials about healthcare, primarily. That was kind of my beat as an editorial writer. 12 years on the editorial board at the Tampa Tribune. I think I'm the only one from the Tampa Tribune who ever won that award, and one of the few. There's only one a year that's given out. So, it's just a real prestigious award to win. The one from the Association of Black Journalists came because of a series that we did at WUSF, about heart health for people, and we did that in not only an English version, but we did it in Spanish and we did it in Haitian.
So we see so much negativity in the news and in journalism, and so how do we change that? I'm trying to make a small difference or small dent in it, by having a show here, once a day here talking about business owners and entrepreneurs. But why is it that the media tends to focus so much on the negativity? I mean, is that what the audience demands?
I argue that that's not what the audience demands, and I think that's why traditional media is hurting so bad right now. People are fleeing traditional media, particularly people under 40. They don't read media the same way that people over 50 read media. They're looking for stories that are relevant to their lives. They're looking for stories that are meaningful in terms of their family or in terms of their neighborhood or in terms of their work environment. I think that people like yourself and 83 Degrees are making a difference. We are changing the narrative. We're even influencing traditional media to do more of the kind of stories that we're doing. You see it all the time.
I've always been of the theory that 24-hour news networks are really hurting the American society. The Fox News, the MSNBCs, they aren't news organizations, in my opinion. They're political, opinionated organizations. What's your theory on that? I mean, is 24 hours news good? I think we should just, go back to the once, you had the evening broadcast at 6:30 where you had actual news being covered and not so much of all this opinionated talk that's dividing the country. Give me your opinion on that.
Yeah, I try not to talk negative about anything because I'm into the whole positive mindset. But I'll tell you that I don't watch it. Mm-hmm. I don't listen to it. It's something that I have tuned out as well. I've pretty much tuned it out since 911, right, when you just sort of got that ad nauseum, repetitious reporting on the same old.
It is, and it's just people going back and forth, and it seems like one organization just keeps trying to trump the other, and it's like they're in competition with each other. And
it actually made me, personally, it makes me sad. It makes me a little bit depressed to hear all that negativity. Yes, we need to know it, and yes, there's a role for many reporters, especially investigative reporters.
And many reporters do a good job. I'm not saying
they do an excellent job.
I'm not saying they didn't.
Yeah. And if it weren't for newspapers and Freedom of Information Act and open records and open meetings, we wouldn't know a lot of the things that we currently know, particularly about government. So I've
just always wondered, do the ratings drop when they focus on positive stories versus the controversial and the negative stuff?
I think that we're proving that they don't. We started in 2009 with 4,000 people, basically my Rolodex as a journalist.
Right.
We're now up around 30,000 that read us every month. So it varies depending on the story and the active social media engagement of the subjects of the story. Sometimes it soars much higher, sometimes it's lower.
Right.
So it varies.
Well, thank you very much for making a difference in the community through a positive message. We've got to take a quick break, but coming back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit more here with Diane Egner of 83 Degrees here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit AccessReverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit AccessReverse.com. NMLS number 4566.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm. a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
This report is brought to you by Sam's Club. This Easter, get a boneless carving ham for $3.28 per pound or less. Green beans with oranges and herb butter for $3.98 per pound. And 35-count cluster-baked dinner rolls for $4.98. Join and save. Sam's Club. Life is better in the club.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Katy Boulevard now stop and go eastbound from the bridge all the way into Manhattan Avenue. I'm seeing delays on 275 northbound from Pinellas Point Drive into 26th Avenue South. We have an accident off on the shoulder. Your crash northbound just past Lois, now cleared, but backups are still starting at the Howard Franklin. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Mostly sunny, high 79. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 64. Tomorrow, 10% rain chance, high 80.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, catch this show on weekdays at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. And please help support the show. Visit the page, TampaBayRadio.com. Head over to our preferred providers page. Reach out to them and support them and let them know that the show is making a difference in our community and you want to help our sponsors, again, over at TampaBayRadio.com under the preferred providers page. Also, learn more about the show and catch past shows over there as well. Again, TampaBayRadio.com, and connect with me on all the social networking sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show, and Twitter under the handle Jamie_Meloni. Currently talking with Diane Egner, publisher and managing editor of 83 Degrees, and learn more about them over at 83degreesmedia.com. And so, Diane, you were talking about, the positive message that your organization brings to the community, something that, I feel is very important. The reason I'm doing the show as well is to bring a positive message to the community. Who are some of the supporters and sponsors of your organization?
If you take a look at the website, you can see them all. We don't have any secret sponsors or anything. We're very transparent about this. So some of our sponsors are Mosaic out of...
I used to work there.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to work there.
Then you know all about Mosaic.
Yes, I did. I spent 6 years there as a chemical analyst before I got into real estate. It's funny you bring it up. I didn't even know you were going to say that.
Well, I'm originally from Minnesota, and they're actually based in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Absolutely. Back when they were in the Cargill days. Yes, they rebranded under Mosaic back
so I'm very proud to have that connection with Mosaic. They're underwriting stories about the environment. They're very interested in reclaimed land and around some of the phosphate mines that they've done and so forth.
Yep.
So we're writing about the environment.
That's good,
with
because
their underwriting support.
The phosphate industry tends to get a lot of negativity associated with it. So I know Mosaic is focused about getting the positive aspect of what they do out into the community. So that's
if you're a golfer and you haven't been out to Stream Song out in Polk County, you're missing out. You need to get out there.
Yeah.
It's pretty fabulous. Some of our other underwriters include Tampa General Hospital, Hillsborough County's EDI2 program. We work with Pinellas County Economic Development. Without actually looking at scroll down on my website, I can't recite them all off the top of my head.
Right. Yeah, you got a lot of people here. Let me ask you this. How long has 83 Degrees Media been in operation right now?
We launched on November 17th, 2009.
2009. Mm-hmm. Did you have a hard time getting sponsors and people to support your message? I mean, you got a lot of people helping out.
I started in April of 2009 to meet with people, and some of the groundwork had been laid by another person, Peter Kagayama, who is a consultant for cities, urban areas, about sort of how to attract people to urban areas. He lives here in St. Petersburg. He had introduced Issue Media Group to the community, to some of the major sponsors, and I was brought in to basically close the deals. So the Tampa Bay Partnership was one of our initial founding partners. We didn't have any trouble at all. It took me 6 months to raise the funding to make this happen. And then it took us about 2 months to actually get all the writers on board, the photographers, the editors, get our tech tech stuff done in terms of designing the site, in terms of getting everything working properly, getting our content management system up and running, and then we launched in November of '09.
Wow, that's incredible. And again, thank you very much for bringing a positive message to the community over at 83degreesmedia.com. What's the future for your organization? What are you looking to get into down the road here?
We're looking to do more stories, of course. We are also looking to do, more stories generally, more feature stories. We're also looking to do more around jobs, job creation, growing companies that are, through their own innovation or entrepreneurship, are becoming bigger economic engines in our community. As you know, sort of the next big thing is 1,000 little things. It's all about, our economy now isn't about attracting some employer of 10,000 people. It's more about supporting the 10,000 businesses here that each employ 2 to 50 employees.
How can the community help support 83degreesmedia.com? How can we get involved and help support this organization?
We're free to subscribers, so we appreciate readers, of course. Our content, while it's all, our content is hyper-local, it's all about local folks. Our audience is global. We actually see about 35% of our audience outside of Florida, so sharing stories is huge. We know from just anecdotal experience that college students read us and share us, people who once lived in Tampa Bay read us and share us, people who are looking to move to Tampa Bay read us and share us. So reading us, sharing us, if you like a story, stick it out there on your own Facebook page, tweet about it. We really appreciate that, and that costs you nothing. It just helps spread those positive messages.
Okay, this is again over at 83degreesmedia.com. You can come over. I see on the menu bar there you have a button to subscribe, and again, this is free again.
Yes,
right?
Yes, it's free to subscribers. It's paid for by the underwriters. They're all key stakeholders in the community who really believe in what we're doing, who believe in the power of positive storytelling.
Now, what if I'm a person in the community and I have a story that I want to be told? Can we send you ideas for stories?
Absolutely.
What's the best way to get you information?
Feedback at 83degreesmedia.com if you want to comment on the stories, or tips at 83degreesmedia.com. If you have a story idea, story suggestion. We're particularly looking for trends in urban living. If you're noticing that 6 new businesses have opened in your neighborhood, I'd love to know about that. If you're aware of 6 tech companies that are all expanding, growing, adding employees, I'd love to know about that. If you're aware of teachers or dentists or any professionals who are doing new, creative, innovative things in their practices, I'd love to know about those. Those are the kinds of stories that we do.
Okay, and again, the email for that was, what was that, feedback at?
Tips, well, two emails, okay. Feedback at 83degreesmedia.com. and tips at 83degreesmedia.com.
Okay, and I'll get that up on the show recap here after the show. So definitely looking to do all I can to support the organization, as I'm very big on positive messages. And thank you very much for everything you've been doing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you're just tuning in, we were just talking with Diane Egner, publisher and managing editor of 83 Degrees Media, and learn more about them over at 83degreesmedia.com. I want to thank also my first guest, Dr. Amir Dowd, who was on the first part of the show, and also learn more about him over at feathersoundsmiles.com. And we'll get this information up on the show recap if you just head over to tampabayradio.com. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. And again, tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Working Women Wednesdays here on That Business Show, so be sure to tune in. We'll be highlighting 2 professional women tomorrow on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.